Welcome to Lex's Lounge. Let's talk a little bit about the market, shall we? And let's kill off this bowl as well. Wonderful. So, I don't know if you guys caught this interview that Warren Buffett did in early October with CNBC. If you haven't, I'll link to it in the description. The entire interview is just gold. But if you go to the 7.5-minute mark of it, you're going to see Warren Buffett discussing this whole big tax overhaul in the States and what kind of impact it has had on big money managers trying to figure out what to do with their shares of things. And what it comes down to is, in expectation of waiting for the corporate tax rate to change from 35% down to maybe 20%, everybody has been selling off all of their losses. In other words, stocks that haven't been doing that well over the past 9 months have been getting even more depressed, and they've been holding off on selling gains in anticipation that if they wait until January 1st, 2018, they can sell off those gains at a lower tax rate. So as an investor, if you've got stuff that kind of has been in the loss column, then I really expect that it's going to recover quite nicely if that tax overhaul passes. If you have stuff that's done really, really well, I actually anticipate that if the tax overhaul passes, those stocks could see a pullback. So kind of think about your portfolio as it stands today based on that. Now, during that interview, which was a month ago, Warren Buffett also says in it that he thinks there's a fairly good chance that the Senate is going to pass the tax overhaul. That interview was before Alabama and Roy Moore and all of that, before the Democrats had a chance of taking Alabama. And if they take it, then the passage of the bill, well, it goes down from the 60% or 70% or whatever that Warren Buffett thinks, and it should take it down to below 50%. What happens if the tax overhaul doesn't pass? Well, I think that you're going to see a nice market pullback between the people who now no longer will wait for January to sell off gains and people who maybe were counting for certain gains with the tax overhaul. So that could be a fairly significant pullback, certainly of the kind that we've gone a little too long without. And you guys really may want to prep for that. I'm going to be watching that vote closely when it goes down. Other than that, in the news, guys, I have opened up this channel and my main channel to translations, closed captions, all of that good kind of stuff. If you have something to submit in terms of a little bit of another language, or closed captions for the hearing impaired, it's easy to do. You just click on the translations link that's by this video. So there you go, guys. That's my take on this whole big tax overhaul and where it's going to take the markets. Now, as Warren Buffett smartly points out in that interview, regardless of how you feel about that tax overhaul as an investor and a shareholder, in terms of the economy, it's nothing good. I mean, it's a gigantic tax break to very, very rich people who've only gotten richer. It's not going to generate the kind of growth that it's being sold as generating. It certainly won't generate jobs in any significant way. It may cause the market to rise overall, but that's to be expected. When you give corporations more money as opposed to less money, it'll impact earnings. As far as whether or not the tax overhaul should pass, it shouldn't. It's awful. It's just terrible. And if you're an American, I feel bad for you for having to face this thing down. But in terms of if it does and if it doesn't, that's how it's going to impact the market, according to Warren Buffett, and I think he's got a good analysis on it. On that note, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. We'll see you next time on Lex's Lounge.